She fell asleep on the train in a silk dress. He made sure she got home safe. She was the only one left in the carriage. The dim, flickering overhead lights of the midnight train cast soft golden halos across her delicate silhouette. Her head leaned gently against the fogged window, lashes resting like whispers on her cheek, as the train rocked her deeper into unconsciousness. Her silk dress shimmered faintly with each sway of the coach, champagne-colored, elegant, out of place amidst the tired vinyl seats and discarded coffee cups. Outside, the rain smeared the city lights into blurry watercolors. Inside, she slept, alone, vulnerable, unaware that she had passed her stop a long time ago. And then, he saw her. Before we journey further into this emotional and unforgettable story, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, in the quiet power of doing the right thing when no one is watching, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Echoes of Life. Your support brings more powerful human stories like this to light. He almost didn't get on that train. Ethan had worked a double shift at the hospital, 12 hours on his feet, rotating between emergency triage and a chaotic pediatric ward, where children cried and parents pleaded and no one really had enough time. He was exhausted. The kind of tired that seeps into your bones, fogs your mind, and turns every step into a burden. He had missed the earlier train and stood alone under the dripping canopy of the platform when the last service of the night pulled in, sighing like an old beast ready to rest. The rain hit the metal roof like fingers tapping in Morse code. He slid into the rear carriage, not expecting much, just silence, solitude, maybe a chance to close his eyes for a few stops. Then he saw her. She looked like she'd been to a wedding. Or maybe a fundraiser. Or maybe, just maybe. Nowhere in particular, just dressed beautifully because some people still believe life deserves grace even on a rainy Tuesday. Her hair, loosely curled, framed a peaceful expression that hinted at exhaustion underneath the polish. Her clutch sat on her lap, fingers still loosely curved around it as if she'd intended to stay awake but surrendered somewhere between one station and the next. No one else was around. No conductor. No voices. Just the rhythmic clatter of steel tracks, a sleeping woman in silk, and a man suddenly wide awake, watching, wondering. He didn't approach at first. He just sat 2 rows back, glancing occasionally, mind wrestling with assumptions. Was she okay? Was she drunk? Was this a mistake? What if he tried to wake her and she panicked? What if she didn't speak English? What if someone was waiting for her? What if no one was? The train passed another stop. And another. Then, something changed. Her head jerked slightly, like a dream had startled her. Her hands clenched the clutch. Her lips moved as if trying to form words, but they never came. She settled back again, unaware. That's when Ethan noticed the phone clutched under her coat. The screen was cracked. Dead. No signal, no help. He stood, finally, took a step forward, slow, cautious, every instinct in his emergency trained brain telling him, she's not safe like this. He cleared his throat gently and spoke her name. Except, he didn't know her name. So he said softly, "Miss?" His voice was low, almost apologetic. She stirred, lashes fluttering, brows pulling into a frown as reality began to creep in. Her eyes opened, confused, vulnerable, fragile. She sat up, blinked rapidly, then realized the window view was foreign, wrong. She looked down at her phone. It didn't light up. Then she looked at him. Panic hit her like cold water. She clutched her bag tighter, pulled her coat across her chest. What time is it? Where am I? Her voice cracked. You passed your stop, Ethan said gently, keeping a careful distance. I think you were asleep for a while. This is the last train, and it's about to reach the end of the line. She looked down, visibly trying to hold back tears, blinking fast. Her name, he learned minutes later, was Alina. She had been to her younger sister's engagement party. Her parents hadn't shown. It wasn't new, just another quiet disappointment in a series that made her strong and tired in equal parts. She hadn't wanted to cry at the party, so she smiled too long, danced too hard, drank too little. But the moment she stepped onto the train and finally exhaled, everything caught up to her. That's when sleep took her, quiet, fast, unkind. Her phone had died after sending one last message to her sister, "Tell Mom I noticed she didn't come." Nothing else. Just silence. Ethan didn't leave her side. When the train halted at the final station, desolate, soaked in shadows, he asked if she needed help getting home. At first, she hesitated. But there was something in his voice. Not pity. Not judgment. Just concern, gentle, patient, real. And in a world that so often walked by or looked away, that kind of concern felt like a miracle. They waited under a flickering street lamp as Ethan called for a cab using his own phone. He insisted on riding with her to make sure she got home safely. He didn't ask for her number. He didn't flirt. He didn't make promises. He simply cared. When the cab pulled up to her apartment, he walked her to the entrance, handed her his jacket because she was shivering, and said, "Sometimes we're not meant to go through the night alone." She watched him leave without asking for anything in return. The next day, she found the hospital's emergency desk and asked if they had a nurse named Ethan. There were 4. But when she described him, one of the other nurses smiled. "Yeah," she said. "That's him. Always stays late. Always goes the extra mile." Alina returned his jacket that evening, freshly laundered, with a note inside the pocket, "Thank you for not letting the world be what I expected it to be." He never stopped thinking about her after that. Weeks passed. Then months. They stayed in touch. Slowly, steadily, with no agenda except kindness and curiosity. Dinners turned into long walks. Conversations stretched past midnight. They never talked about the night on the train in detail, but it became their silent thread, an unspoken reminder that every once in a while, the universe pauses just long enough for 2 broken people to notice each other. 1 year later, she wore silk again. Not to a party, but to a small ceremony where she and Ethan stood beneath a canopy of golden autumn leaves, surrounded by only a few friends and the nurse who'd connected the dots. And in her vows, Alina said, "I once fell asleep on a train and woke up into a different life. Not because someone rescued me, but because someone chose to see me when I didn't expect to be seen." If this story touched your heart, even just a little, please like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to Echoes of Life. These true-to-spirit stories deserve to live in more hearts, and your support keeps them alive. And now a special request, please take a moment to comment. Kindness is never wasted. Let's fill the comments with the reminder that we still live in a world where people care.